What's up, guys? Welcome to our wine and reflection call. I'm actually not drinking wine, but I'm excited if you are. If you came with another sparkly drink, I have Restore on deck. But I'm so excited for the call. But before we jump in, let me just do a quick plug for Super Saturday. If you guys don't know me, I'm Christina. I'm a diamond here in Georgia. I very rarely get nervous for calls, but my voice is shaking, which is so weird. So anyways, Super Saturday, if you have not registered, this little nifty QR code right here, it will take you to the registration link so that you can register. Super Saturday is our biggest training event of the year, and so you don't want to miss out on that. So go ahead and get registered. If you are local to any of these watch parties, I would highly encourage you to attend. So I know that there's one in Marietta, Georgia. There's one in Baxley, Georgia, Wisconsin. I don't know where all of these places. Maryland, it looks like. Is that what MD stands for? Maryland? All right. So anyways, tune in if you can. If you can't get somewhere with people, watch virtually. If you can grab a friend who wants to watch with you, do that. But Super Saturday is really important and you don't want to miss out on that. Okay. So why are you here? Why did we decide to have this call? Honestly, it was because I really felt a need to reflect, celebrate, and prepare for 2025. I am claiming massive success in 2025 because what I've learned this year is that success is a science. Brittany kind of coined that phrase. I don't know where she got it, but I got it from her. And because I've learned that, it has me feeling so excited for the future. So that's kind of why we're here. We had originally had this night taken off. So if you're not here and you're catching the recording, that's okay. But I just really felt like it was important to get in front of my team and kind of take some time to reflect on the year that just passed and then prepare for the year moving forward. So that's why we're here. Okay, so I asked you guys to do something last week, I guess, maybe a week before. I just went into a chat and said, hey, listen, can you guys share with me some things that your December paycheck is allowing you to experience in December? Sometimes we forget what feels like a blessing for people. And so I just want you can screenshot this. You can screenshot this screen if you want, but I just want you to look around because this is how I cast vision for the business. It's not, hey, come make brain surgeon money with me, right? People can't relate to that, but they can relate to not feeling guilty about getting my fingernails done. They can relate to not charging Christmas presents. They can relate to being able to make the payment on a new teenage driver's vehicle. And so anytime I ask you guys, hey, share with me what this opportunity is allowing for you, just know this is how I cast vision for the future. This is how I show people, hey, listen, this is what this business can do for you. And I would encourage you guys to do the same. So you can tell any of these people's stories, right? Because this is what people can relate with. So I just wanted to, kind of showcase some wins that we had in December, because here's what could happen next year based off of what you do this coming year. Next year, you could have a screen like this totally full of your team. Totally full of people who, because of your obedience and because of your diligence and because of your yes, they're going to be shouting out blessings that they have in December because of your team, because of your leadership. If you will do what you say you want to do for the 2025 up and coming. Okay. So that's why I wanted to show you guys this. Now, I also want to take some time and celebrate all of the massive wins that Freedom Team had this year. Y'all, when we were putting this together, I was just blown away by the amount of rank ups that we had in 2024. So if this is you or if this is your team, shout them out in the comments. Let's just celebrate each other. You guys, we rise by lifting others, and other people's success, it's indicators of what's possible for us and for the people that we're going to be sharing the business with. So this should excite the heck out of you. We have more silvers. These are the silvers for the second half of the year. But wait, there's more. Look at all of these senior silvers. Look at all of these golds. You guys, gold is the rank for me where I thought, my paycheck had a comment in it because I had my rank up bonuses. And I just thought, $1,000. If I can make $1,000, wonder if I could make $2,000. Isn't that funny how our brain will kind of start to get a little bit of a bigger vision as we start to accomplish. And so just look at what has been accomplished by our team. I hope that you're celebrating yourself. If you're on this list, I hope that you're celebrating yourself. And we won't stop there. Look at all of these rank ups in 2024. Massive shout outs to you guys. Our 3 Sapphires this year, Emily, Haley, and Abby. Huge congrats. You guys, this is what's possible. This is what's possible. When I look at this and I see how much success was built on the back of hard work, what it does is it motivates the crap out of me because I know people are willing to do what we've been willing to do. We just have to go share with them. We just have to show them the opportunity that's available so that they can come and capitalize just like many of you have. Okay, so a goal that you now pause, everybody pause. It's fun to celebrate. It's really fun to celebrate. But there have been many a celebration where I have sat there and thought, I am so happy for them, but I can't relate because there's a whole list of goals I did not hit. A whole list of them. That is true for me this year. It's true for Brittany this year. I only know because we talked about it. A whole list of goals. Some we hit, some we didn't, some we got close to, some I never even got started on. And I'll tell you why that is in just a second. But I really want you to pay attention to this quote right here. And it has to marinate in your soul. A goal that you did not hit is not a failure. It is feedback on what to adjust and try again. Your growth is in the grit. Keep showing up for your dreams. So many of you have said, Christina, you always get to train on being gritty. We love hearing you train on grit. And I'm thinking, I bet you do, because you didn't have to be abused and beat up by the sandpaper over and over and over that I did in order to be able to become gritty, right? Gritty is like tumbling down a pavement road, totally exposed at a rapid rate of speed. That's literally how grit was developed in me. And so I just want you guys to know, more times than not, I've not hit my goal. You guys know the story of me missing a rank by 3 points. I just told you guys almost my entire list of goals for 2024. Almost my entire list. I can think of one that we hit. Trying to think if there's another one. Most of my goals for 2024 I did not hit. And a lot of it was because I had to learn. I wasn't ready. So I had to learn, and learning is painful when other people are winning. Let's just be honest. Learning can feel painful. We can want the process to hurry up. But you guys, I think I got lipstick on my shirt. I'm very, very grateful for 2024 because I'm telling you, it has me feeling so confident in going into 2025. And I hope that as we reflect tonight, you're able to develop a confidence from the experience that you have gained. I want you to listen to me very carefully. 2024 was not a wash. If you worked and if you put forth effort, I don't care if you ended at the same spot or 5 miles back. If you worked, you gained wisdom. If you worked, you gained experience. And if you gained experience, you now have stories to tell that will help you relate to someone else's failing forward in the future. And so I want us to really spend some time acknowledging that, because that can feel lonely. It can feel embarrassing. It can feel like, oh my gosh, my team isn't going to see me on that list of rank ups. It can feel so many things. But remember, whatever the struggle right now, when that struggle turns into success, what it equates to is resilience, and people respect that. Okay. All right. So vision for 2025. Don't look at that yet. I know y'all don't listen to me if there's words on the screen. I want to read you a quote that I saw a minute ago. Everything I've seen over the last 24 hours, I'm like, oh my gosh, they need to hear it. Brendan Burchard said, procrastination is not your problem. Vision is. You forgot what you were fighting for. You got disconnected from the vision that would pull you through the muck to achieve your dreams. So sometimes we think I have a discipline problem. I have a procrastination problem. I have a time management problem. And Brendan Burchard said that's not true. You have a vision problem. And I will admit Remember I told you all the list of goals I didn't hit? I actually admitted to Brittany the other day, I'm like, I don't even know what half the goals were. You know why? Because I lacked vision. I lacked vision for those goals. So it was easy to forget what the heck I was even supposed to be focused on. And you guys know if you're not focused, right, you're just kind of running in circles. And so that's the result that I created. Okay, so let's talk vision. Actually, before that, I'm asking you guys to do something vulnerable. You don't have to share publicly, but I do want you to take a minute and we're just going to all kind of reflect. I'm not going to make you close your eyes because that feels weird, but I do want you to reflect on the most painful missed goal of 2024. You can jot it down somewhere. You can write it down. You can type it in the chat. It doesn't matter to me. But the most painful goal, the one that makes this right here feel really heavy, or it makes it feel like, I hope no one finds out. Hope no one finds out. I hope they forgot that was my goal. But let's just reflect for a second on what was my most painful missed goal in 2024. And then I want you to answer this question. In 2025, I'm going to do blank differently so that that doesn't happen again. This is where you get to take ownership because our success is not dependent on anything else. So my most painful missed goal, and because I'm responsible for my own success, in 2025, I'm going to do this to ensure that that doesn't happen again. All right. I hope you guys thought about that. I used to skip this part of all of these calls because I thought it felt weird. What I actually learned was that was me avoiding emotions. So hope that you did that. Okay, so my vision for 2025, not that you guys asked for it, but I really feel very strongly that we can be the top performing team in all of Plexus. We've been amongst them, but I'm telling you guys right now, I look at the caliber of women on our team and men, and I think there ain't no reason we can't be number one. Ain't no reason. And so I envision at the end of this year, Jean and Alec in their little corner office that I've been in a few times being like, dang, did y'all see Freedom Team this year? Like, man. And when they're reviewing data, because you know that they do, Here's what I envision. Freedom Team, Brittany Howard's team. Huh. Top and roll. Oh, Freedom Team, Brittany Howard's team. Top duplicating. Huh. Freedom Team, Brittany Howard's team. Top trainers. Huh. Brittany's team. Interesting. I envision every single piece of metric that to the point that they're going to have to think, did Christina hack our computer? Like, for real, did Christina hack us? That is my vision for 2025. And for me, for us to be the top performing team, number one, it obviously means we have to be the top performing team. It means that there are leaders on our team. All of our leaders who are at any rank, they're holding rank with confidence. How many of you want to 100% be able to say, I know exactly how to hold my rank and help my team hold their rank? That is a huge cry of my heart, that when we hit a rank, we keep that rank. Not that it's never a perfect world, and you guys have seen my point chart, okay? So there is absolutely no shame in not holding your rank, but I'm telling you, my vision is that we will be so rock solid in processes and systems and people skills that we will be holding rank. And that when we are and when we aren't, we have a crystal clear plan for advancement. Crystal clear plan. Listen, the pain of not holding your rank is minor when you know exactly what to do to change it. And so that is my vision for 2025. Okay. Anybody want to get on board with my vision? This would be an awkward call for you to be on if you didn't. But I can't see the chat. Maybe you guys are saying, Christina, you're crazy. I don't know what you're saying. All right. So I have no idea what my notes say. Hold on. Okay. So here's how we're going to get there. This is the year that we align our actions with our vision, get vulnerable with ourselves in metrics, and show the entire company what's possible when a team works together with purpose. because y'all, we're not just building businesses, we are building legacies. And it's so funny to me that this paragraph has so many words that I used to despise, like vulnerable, metrics, like just like, nobody actually wants to do those things. But when you see the power behind them, it really does kind of open up your eyes to what's possible. So, all right, let's keep going. Okay. So first of all, shout out to Brittany Howard for this cycle of success cycle cycle. I was listening to her coach the other day, and then I was listening to her Patreon app, which I'm going to give a plug for that in a second. But this brought so much clarity for me, and I am 9 years in, you guys. I just got my 9-year Plexus anniversary card in the mail today. My 9th year is actually officially on the 16th of January, but so 9 years, and I'm learning more now than I've ever learned. So anyways, this cycle of success is how I can assure you that you will hit your goals if you follow these proven steps, because success is a science. Remember, I told you Brittany coined that. Success is a science, and this is why. And this really freaking excites me because it takes out the wonder of, will it ever work for me? So that was my number one fear. How many of you guys knew that about me? My number one fear was not what people will think, like what will people think, or can I do it? Or I don't know some other people's fears, but my number one fear is, will this work for me? Like, will there be room at the top? Will this all pan out? Basically, like, I'm willing to do whatever it takes as long as it's like guaranteed outcome. I want a guaranteed outcome. If I'm going to just like sacrifice and blood, sweat, tears, I want a guaranteed outcome. Kind of like if I was prepping for a fitness show, I don't want to have to eat ground turkey and asparagus sticks if you can't guarantee me that I'm going to get where I need to be for a fitness show. If you can guarantee me that I need to do all of this workouts and all of this food for a certain amount of time, and then I'll get there, sold. Sign me up. Sign me up. But maybe it'll work out. I'm not here for a maybe it'll work out. And so this just encourages me so much because it's not a maybe it will work out. It's a see the cycle through and it works out. And so I love that. Okay. Step number one, first thing we have to do is we have to get clarity. Without clarity, remember Brendan Bouchard says, you lose focus. So we've done this a few times over the last few months, but we're really going to hone in on this today, and we kind of have to fly. So put on your thinking caps, okay? Number one, what do you want your life to look like in 5 years? Remember, go ahead and age your kids, age your dog, age your spouse, age your car. 5 years from now, what does life look like? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to drive? Where do you want to vacation? 5 years from now, what do you want? And we're going to do something that I've never done before, so it may or may not work. We're going to try it. We're going to actually go into a breakout room, and you guys will get to share in a small little group what you want your life to look like. You don't have to do anything except click the button when it pops up, and then I'll bring you guys back when it's over. So don't leave. Just stay here and then click your button if it works. All right, let's see. Assign automatically. All right, we can create that many. Oh, this is about to be so cool. Are y'all ready? Open all rooms. Okay, the rooms are open. Do you guys, oh my gosh, it's working. Okay, go in the room. When you get in the room, somebody take the lead and have the conversation. Is everybody in a room? Ashley Perry, you're not in a room. Let's see, how do I move you to a room? Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
Christina, I was in a room, but it kicked me out of the room.
Okay. Let's see
I
how
was
I
in room 6.
let's see how I add you back. This is so cool. Okay, hold on. Let me see. Let's see. Wimberly, not joined. Let's move you there. Okay. Jenna, you need a room, baby? Let's see. If you're not in a room, I'm going to try to add you, but I don't know actually what I'm doing. So hold tight with me. All right. Hannah needs a room. Got Hannah. All right, let's see. There's Jenna. I see you, Jenna. Why can't I put you in a room? Let's see. All righty. Breakout rooms are closing. They will all automatically come back in 45 seconds. That was just about the coolest thing ever. Did that work for you guys? Raven, I see you. Jessa, yes. Very cool.
I've done that one other time on one of our training sessions with someone that you had me join. And so thankfully I kind of had an idea of what was coming.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I figured the first time it's always a little messy, and that's okay. Everybody else will be back in 22 seconds, it looks like. All right, cool. Well, now we know. All righty. Let's wait for everybody to get back. All right. Well, that was really cool. I'm glad that we got the breakout rooms. So that was kind of our first attempt. All right. So, clarity, what do you want your life to look like? Because, first of all, in order to achieve something, you first have to be able to see it. You have to be able to visualize what that's going to look, feel, sound, all of that. So we're going to break this down a little bit further so that we can get clarity on the action needed to make it happen. So question number 2, in order for you to be on track for that 5-year vision, what has to be true by the end of 2025? So in order for you to say, I am on track for that goal, my 5-year vision, my 5-year life. Oh, another fun thing you can do is you can tell ChatGPT what your vision and goal is, how you want to feel, what you want to live, all of that. And then you can ask it to tell you a story about a day in the life of. Like, tell me a story about a day in my life 5 years from now when all this is true. And it is so dang inspiring. Okay, in order for that to be true, what has to happen by the end of this year? Do not skip this step. So, for instance, if I want to, in 5 years, be a 7-star diamond, by the end of this year, what needs to be true is I need to have grown in, I need to have a new star on my team. I need to have a new star on my team. So in order, like, let's say that's my goal. Now I can break it down to the next step. Okay, well, in order for me to have a new star that by the end of 2025, what has to have happened by convention, which is June, in order for me to be on track for that goal? So do you see how we're kind of breaking this down to get crystal clear on what am I supposed to be doing right now that's going to make a difference 5 years from now? All right, take a couple seconds. Do you have these 3 questions answered? Go ahead and drop in the chat what has to happen by convention for you to be on track for what has to happen by the end of this year or by the end of 2025. What has to happen by convention? I need to be confident. Okay, so Jess said that would need to be more specific. That's not measurable. Okay, yep, Amber, that's measurable. Yep. Hit my next rank. Yep. Rank up. Okay, by convention. Okay. Build major belief. Okay, but that's still not measurable. Build belief is not measurable. Something that's going to have to, you can say, if this happens on paper, this is the result. Okay. All right. So in order for this to happen by convention, then you guys know there's another step. What has to happen in your business by the end of March? So you guys know I've been talking about the 12-week year. I really encouraged you guys to try to read it over the last couple of weeks or listen to it. If you haven't, it's okay, no shame, but I would highly encourage you to get the 12-week year book. I am going to be very diligent this year in running my business this way. So he even says, you're not supposed to break it down into quarters, like, okay, end of March. But with the way our business works, it's real hard to end a 12-week year on March 24th in our business. So by the end of March, what has to happen for you to be on track for your convention goal, for you to be on track for your end of 2025 goal? What has to happen in your business by the end of March, which is 12 weeks from now? You can go ahead and drop that in the comments. 3 to 4 people monthly, create a silver monthly, senior silver and a silver. Help others on my team rank up. Laura, I'd get more specific on that. And get more specific on the number of people that have to rank up and what's that rank that they have to hit. Okay, so once you have clarity on what has to happen in March, by the end of March, these things have to be true, or I'm not going to be on track for my goal 5 years from now. You guys, I heard somebody say something in the gym the other day, and I'm telling you, it stuck with me because I'm very clear on what I want my life to look like in 5 years. But 5 years feels arbitrary. It feels like there's plenty of time for that. It's why the 12-week year is so effective. If you read the book, he'll break down the why behind that. But 5 years, it feels like there's plenty of time. I can't really control anything now that's going to affect anything 5 years from now, but it's not true. He said the other day, we're in the middle of a workout, and he said, take a break if you want to, but what you're chasing is getting further away. And I just thought, oh my gosh, that's so true. Like, this was obviously in regards to fitness, and the goal is get stronger, get leaner, whatever. And he's like, sure, take a break if you want to, but whatever you're chasing, it's getting further away. And I thought, okay, well, I can apply that in a lot of areas of my life. So whatever the goal is by the end of March, that is your 12-week goal. And we're going to set up an action plan to help you execute that. Now, everyone's goal by the end of March is different. So I want everybody to take a deep breath. It's okay if your goal is not someone else's. Your 5-year vision isn't either. So we got to be okay with, okay, this is my goal. And I'm not going to make this goal feel like it's bigger than someone else's or better. And I'm not going to let it feel like my goal is worse or less or not as impressive. It's what based off of what you said you wanted. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to show you an example of some daily tactics. Now in the 12-week year, he talks about you have clarity over what you want to accomplish in 12 weeks. And then you have to break it down into the actual tactics that you can measure. Now, this list it's comprehensive. There's no way everybody can do all of this. So relax. But I'm just going to show you on the next couple of slides what some examples of tactics are so that when you sit down to create your action plan that's going to get you what you say you want by the end of March, that you have an idea of what goes there. Okay, so obvious tactics in our business are reach outs, follow-ups, customer care, team support and duplication, inviting to events or third-party tools, personal development, social media engagement, posting, right? I did see somebody asked if y'all will have access to these slides. Sure. If you want the slides, go for it. I'll send them to you. Sharing testimonials, hosting conversations, expanding your network, new connections, follow-ups on renewals or cancellations. So these are just things that, depending on what your goal is, think about it this way. Someone's goal could be increase retention by 30%. Do you see how being crystal clear on that particular goal for this quarter would determine what tactics they're going to do? If my goal is increase retention by 30%, that means that a lot of my work is going to be done in customer care, retention, duplication. It's probably not going to necessarily be in massive amounts of IPA. So this is why having clarity on what has to change in your business for you to be on track to get what you want, it's why it's so critical. It's why it's so critical. Do not attempt to choose tactics until you are crystal clear on what you are determined to make happen by the end of March. Okay. Oh, these are some more. Planning your next steps, sending encouragement, offering the opportunity. These are just all examples of what some daily tactics could be. Okay. This is all going to come together in 1 second. All right. So I want to show you an example of an action plan. This is if somebody was gold and they want to go senior gold by their, and the way that they're going to do that by the end of March is enrolling 12 new level ones themselves over the next 12 weeks and helping 3 team members go senior silver. Now, this is totally hypothetical. Just wanted to show you what that would look like based off of what somebody said they want. By the end of March, they have to be at senior gold. This is how they're going to do it. This would be an example of what their weekly targets would be. So do you see how that's in alignment with what they're saying they want to help happen on their team? Are we tracking? Obviously, if this isn't your goal, these probably aren't your weekly targets. So pish posh. But I just wanted you to see an example of how it's laid out. Okay. This is another example of action plans. I already showed you guys that. This is just broken down again into the things that I'm going to choose to track on the daily that is going to all go together on what we would call your 12-week scorecard. Now, here's where I get really excited. All right, take a second and look at this. This this little QR code right here, it will take you to this example and a blank one. So you want to scan this QR code. And I'll upload all of this, but it'll take you to an example and a blank one. But I want to talk to y'all about the 12-week scorecard. Again, if you read the book, this is kind of just a refresher. If you haven't, that's okay, because this will be a good precursor to the book. The point of this scorecard is for you to rate yourself at the end of the week, like measure the action that you've taken to get you a score. Now, I think one of the most liberating sentences in the whole book was, we're not aiming for 100% on this card. And I thought, well, that is a relief, because so many times people, they'll have an off day and then an off day turns into an off week. Ask me how I know when it comes to my macros in the last couple weeks. One off day, and then the whole week is, just. But he says what you're aiming for here is about 85%. And I thought, okay, 85%. That means even if I have an off day, or even if I don't hit certain numbers once or twice, the week can still be a win. So tell you over here on the slide how to do it. But basically, you set your weekly targets. Like, okay, this week, according to this scorecard, I'm supposed to do 25 daily income producing reach outs. When I'm sitting down to score myself at the end of the week, I'm going to put the actual number that I did. Maybe I did 20. Okay, maybe I did 20. I'm going to average those together so that I can get the percent achieved. Does that make sense? So I'll divide my weekly target by the actual. That'll give me my percentage. So if my goal was 25, I would have hit 95%. I think if I did 21, maybe 90. I don't know. I'm not a calculator, but I would score myself there. And what I'm basically looking for is repeated patterns over time. Am I consistently at 85 and 90% in my effort? And if so, is that yielding the result that I thought I would get with this amount of work? I think where people get bogged down is they don't feel clear on work required to get result desired. And this will eliminate that confusion. Because if we are executing at 85% or higher and the results aren't showing what we thought, then either we've got to change the effort, and you can change it in a couple of ways. Brittany talks about it in her Patreon app. You can change it by either getting more effective, making your work better, increasing the output, doing more numbers, or both, depending on what you want. But when the effort desired doesn't produce the result, or the effort required doesn't produce the result desired, then there's a disconnect, and that really starts to hurt your belief. But when you are crystal clear on, okay, all right, so for me to have recruited 6 people this month, I had to do this amount of work. It's very logical for me to decide, okay, if I want to enroll 6 again next month, this is the work required. But if I'm not paying attention to the work that I had to do to get the 6 joins that I got, all of a sudden, when it's time to decide what I need to do next, it's like, well, I don't really know. I hope for 6 joins, but I don't feel confident that I know what it took to get them. This will eliminate that. So you'll set your action plan for the week. You'll determine the weekly targets required. If I do this amount of work, it should give me the result that I am saying I need. Then I'm going to score myself weekly. Now, in the book, this is for self-accountability. If you're filling out a weekly scorecard, I assure you, your upline wants to see it. Your upline wants to see it. And I can guarantee you, Brittany has said this so many times, if somebody would show me their work for an entire quarter, I could pinpoint with almost certain accuracy where the disconnect is in their business. If they're not getting the results they want, but they track their effort for 12 weeks, I can almost always identify why. And I think this would help many of you feel very confident in also identifying why. So this is the scorecard. Like I said, that's the QR code to get an example. Now, let's talk about measurement, because many of you see that scorecard and you immediately think, I'm going to get a bad grade. I'm going to get a bad grade. Or one more thing that I know I'm not going to see through. We've done IPA chats. We've done WAMs. We've done all kinds of things that require self-measurement, right? And we usually start out strong, and then we can tend to fizzle because we start to feel shame around the results of the measurement. But when you measure metrics, you guys, it takes the emotion out of it. It gives you data that's not emotional. You might have emotions in regards to the data, but it gives you just kind of a naked picture. And with that, you can determine what's needed to change. So many avoid tracking because they fear facing bad results. But you guys, you know what feels worse than bad results on paper for a week? Feeling stuck in your business and unclear how to get out of it. That feels way worse. And I promise you, if you'll endure the discomfort of potentially having a less than 85%, a less than stellar, for a week or two, but then you go change that, what that does is that builds your confidence and your trust in yourself. And that's how you adopt a positive failing forward attitude. When all of a sudden, what I did last week didn't determine what I did this week, I rose above. That is how you determine that grit and that positive failing forward attitude. And you guys, listen, we got to get real comfortable with getting in that muck in our own business so that we can move out of it and help other people do the same. Okay, something else I've learned: viewing metrics as a tool for growth, not judgment, will help reframe the metrics importance. Metrics are extremely important because they're a tool. Metrics don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Doesn't matter how you feel about the numbers, numbers don't lie. And when we can look at them as a tool and be grateful for what information they give us instead of judgment, because the reality is we're in the situation we're in because of the work we have or have not done. Putting it on paper doesn't do anything except draw clarity to what we have the potential to change. Okay? All right, being crystal clear on your metrics creates transparency and will reduce stress over the unknown. This is where belief is hurt. If you don't feel like you have the potential to change, it's really hard to be excited about the future. But when you can look at metrics and think, okay, if this number goes up, then this number goes up. And my effort is the only thing required to make this number. Okay. Am I willing to pay the price? Sure am. Okay. Well, let's go. Okay, measuring effort alongside results ensures a full understanding of what it takes to succeed. This is what will build your confidence in offering this business to others when you're crystal clear on what it will take to move someone through the stages. All right, why are metrics important? Because they clarify goals. Tracking your metrics, if you're not tracking your metrics, you're not clear on your goal. It'd be like saying, I'm going to be that fitness competitor. I'm going to go be in a bikini competition, but I'm not going to track my nutrition. I'm not going to track my reps. I'm not going to track my weight that I'm holding. I'm just going to hope that I wake up on competition day as a bikini competitor. Like, that would be ridiculous, right? We're saying I want to be an emerald, but I don't really know how many conversations I've had. I don't really know how many people have responded. I don't really know how many people I've recruited or how many times I've shared the business. I don't really know kind of much of any of the work that I'm doing in. I'm just kind of hoping that it's going to all formulate into this bikini competitor of an emerald. And in the reality, you're doing the work. We just got to track the work so we can make sure it's going to get you where you say you want to go. Okay, metrics remove emotions. Told you guys that. It also identifies progress. And listen, progress is the biggest motivator. Biggest motivator. It also highlights effort. Sometimes just a pat on the back for, man, you're really working hard. I know that you don't see the results you want to see yet, but I see the effort. And I just want you to know this compounds over time. So being able to have that and say, I have put forth the effort, it will help build your trust that it's going to pay off. Okay, measurement also pinpoints inefficiencies. You guys, metrics can uncover gaps. Painful realization? Yes. Required to fill the gaps and move forward? Also, yes. Metrics drive accountability. I had somebody said today, I think that the reason my 2024 didn't go the way I necessarily wanted it to was a lack of consistency. And you know what? It was hard for her to say that, but what you could immediately see her determination to change that. And because she knows that's what cost her in 2024, when she's willing to pay the price of being consistent, she knows the reward she's going to get in 2025. And now all of a sudden it's like, I'm ready for that year. Let's go. Because I know I'm willing to change what I know held me back. So metrics drive accountability. It also supports decision-making processes. Listen, we are so quick to pivot from a strategy. Like, okay, my goal by the end of March is develop 3 business builders. All right, got it. But then there's the shiny thing over here that I want to go do instead. Feels way more fun. Gonna go do this and just kind of forget this. But if you're crystal clear on what the goal is and your metrics align with the goal, it will support your decision making. So when you have an hour to work your business, you're going to work on what's driving you towards your goal, not the other thing that feels exciting. Okay, and it will eliminate guesswork. All right. Showed you guys this already. Make sure that you have grabbed that PDF. All right. Now the part that makes everyone the most uncomfortable, the reflection process, which is why we came tonight, was to reflect on last year, get ready for this year. So I hope that you've taken time to reflect this year, even if your year did not go the way you wanted to, it's even more important that you stop and reflect. So was my goal realistic and achievable? Does it align with my priorities? And am I clear on why it mattered? Then reflect on the action steps. Did I take consistent action? Did I execute the plan? Did I execute the plan? Or did I pivot from the strategy? Were my steps clear and manageable? How did I handle obstacles? When you're aware of this, you can change it for the future. Okay, reflect on the results. What progress did you make? What are you proud of? What would you do differently? Write in the chat for me real quick. If you could do 2024 over, what would you do differently? Track metrics, not quit. Oh, start earlier. Take consistent action, start sooner. Time management, be consistent. Share the business opportunity. I love these answers. Okay, so moving forward, when you're reflecting, celebrate small wins to build momentum. Some of you guys just need to celebrate the fact that you created an action plan. I hope that you will create an action plan. I hope that when you do, you'll send it to your upline. Some of you, that will be more bold than you've ever been in putting your vision into focus, into being. Just writing the action plan or saying, I don't know how to write an action plan. Can you help me? Adjust your plan to address challenges. Stay focused and committed. Remember, reflection is about growth and not perfection. Here's this again. I guess I really wanted to make sure you got the QR code. Okay, step 5. After you've reflected, now it's time to make adjustments to the plan. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again. If you do in 2025 what you've done in 2024, be prepared to get the same result. Okay? If you love your result, that might be great news for you. I love one of my results this year in fitness. I just went completely wild over the holidays, and I am actually exactly where I was midway through January last year. And I'm like, man, that damage was all right. I'm real glad with what I just like where I'm at. Good plan. I'm going to see this year the same way through that I saw last year when it comes to nutrition. I'm a fan of that. Okay. My business, not so much. There are some things that I'm like, I need to change this in 2025. And I'm very aware that if I do what I did in 2024, I can expect the result I got. So make adjustments. Make adjustments. Refine your steps. Reassess priorities. Add, tweak, remove, set smaller milestones. What do you have to do to feel confident that this plan is going to work? So don't go and create a weekly scorecard and then print 12 of them, because by the end of week 4, when you check in with whoever's holding you accountable, if the effort is not producing the result, it might be that something needs to change. It might not be. It might not be. It might be we need to give this time to work. But it might be like, okay, you're saying you want to recruit one person every week, but you're having one conversation. We either got to change the goal or we got to change the effort. So hold that loosely. But what doesn't change is the end of March goal. That is what you are committed to. Come hell or high water, you are determined to make that happen. You have to, because the 2025 end of year goal depends on it. And the 5-year vision depends on that. Okay. Many of you guys want to know what the heck I'm listening to. This is what I'm listening to every day in the car, getting dressed, in the shower. These are who I'm listening to. Brittany just started a Patreon app. If you guys have not started listening to that, you really need to. So many of people have heard over the years, sidelines, just so many people who have said, man, if Brittany was my upline, I'd be making millions of dollars. She's so wise. And I'm like, well, here's your opportunity, because she's literally going in there unpolished, just like dumping her thoughts and wisdom. And I'm telling you, I have learned so much from getting to be in close proximity. Now everybody can. So if you're not listening to her, shame on you. You should. These are the other people that I'm listening to. Be warned, a few of them have some dirty wordies. So just mind your ears when you are listening to some of them, if you've got littles that listen. Okay. Monday, next Monday night, we're going to watch this as a team. It's a really, and we've already heard some of the training on this, but you're going to love it. Just make note of this QR code to register for this. Y'all are impressed with my QR codes, aren't you? But just know it's at the same time as our team call. So we'll probably get on a Zoom and then one of us will just share our screen so we can all be together while we are watching Brooke and learning about this new strategy that we're going to be implementing in 2025. You do not want to miss it. So go ahead and register for that if you want to register. If not, come to the team call and one of us will share our screen. Okay, in closing, check your determination. Here's what I mean. Some of you have heard my baby analogy. If this were your baby on the side of a busy interstate, the how would not matter because you would be determined to figure out how to get to that baby. It wouldn't matter how many lanes you had to cross. It wouldn't matter the weather. It wouldn't matter if you were tired. It wouldn't matter if it was the holidays. It wouldn't matter if you were on vacation. It wouldn't matter. Nothing would matter. It wouldn't matter if you had to get married, house burned down. It would not matter. That's the level of determination needed here. Every single thing that you need to learn or develop or implement is available to you. Determined to get it, determined to build it, and determined to learn it. John Maxwell calls it the whatever it takes mindset. He says, ask yourself these 4 questions. What do I really want? What will it cost? It's going to cost you something. Effort, energy, sleep, money, lunch dates. I don't know. It's going to cost you something. Am I willing to pay that price? When should I start paying the price? He says in his book, Developing the Leaders Within You. No, the leader within you. We all experience times we feel bad. Our attitude cannot stop our feelings, but it can keep our feelings from stopping us. Remember, big results come from the small actions done consistently. You are building something brick by brick, day by day. 2024 was a layer of those bricks, you guys. Leave 2024 in gratitude for whatever you learned, good, bad, or ugly. Sometimes the best lessons we learn are what we don't want to do again. And there's power there. Okay, last QR code. I know you guys are so disappointed, but I hope that you will take the time tonight to fill this out. It's just a letter to your future self. One of the questions that I had on my end of year survey for my level 1s was, hey, write a note of encouragement to yourself in the future. A year from now, what would you say to yourself? And it was really powerful, the things that people would say to themselves. So I hope that you will fill this out. Again, this is something that you can keep private. Your upline would love to see it if you want to share. But I hope that you'll fill this out. And I hope that you know that the hardest person to lead is yourself. But that should really encourage you because that means that everything is within your control. So pray like it depends on God because it absolutely does. If your goals don't require God to show up, you're not setting big enough goals. But then work like it depends on you because God has given you these dreams, this desire, this work ethic, this energy, this passion, this belief. Work like it depends on you. Pray like it depends on Him because it does. Wishing you guys the biggest and best 2025 that there is. I have no doubt in my mind that we can be the #1 performing team in our entire company. And I am just cheering all of you guys on. So happy New Year. See you guys when I see you guys. Bye.